Hello, citizens of Gotham, and welcome to the Batcave, your weekly show about all things Batman. I am Daniel Pickett of Action Figure Insider. I'm here with my co-host, Tatiana Hollander of the Marvel Report.
Hello.
Don't hold that against her. She still loves all things DC, too.
I do.
So we're here, we're live. Invite your friends to join in the conversation by using the hashtag #WelcomeToTheBatCave. It's easy enough to remember. And comment below here with your questions, and we'll answer them later on in the show. But in the meantime, we're going to be talking all things Batman for this week. And there's a bit of stuff, it feels like.
Yeah, there was. Did you get to do anything Batman related this week?
I did, which is something we'll talk about in a little later in the show. There's some Bat toys that I went after this week.
Oh, and they became yours?
And they became mine. So we'll talk about those in a bit. How about yourself? Anything?
Well, I played episode 2 of Telltale Batman, and I loved every second of it.
Nice.
I will talk about in a little bit as well.
We will, yes. We're going to start talking about some comic news for this week for Batman. Right now, they're doing Night of the Monster Men, which I think you are
I am currently reading
up
it.
on.
Yes, the crossover, which is the first crossover of the Rebirth era, started this week with Batman number 5, or sorry, Nightwing number 5 and Batman number 7. Night of the Monster Men, where Hugo Strange creates some monsters to come and terrorize Gotham as a ploy to get back at Batman. Which is, I think it's off to a really great start. First, it's got the team dealing with Tim Drake's death, you know.
Death,
so, right.
that we talked about last week.
Death. Yeah, but they think he's dead.
Right.
And they're all processing it differently while having to deal with, like, you know, pseudo-Godzilla type attacks. And I think it's really great because it shows Batman is so afraid of losing someone else on his team, which I think goes back to what we were talking about last week, you know, that he really is about family and he is about, you know, keeping everyone together.
Yep.
So he's going out of his way to keep his people safe,
Right.
which of course slightly offends or upsets Dick because he feels like Batman's not trusting them, you know, and he's taking on too much.
Okay.
And it's also just great to see Batwoman in charge. I love that Kate gets to like lead her own series now with Detective Comics.
Right.
So it's good to see her on equal footing with Dick and Bruce.
Yes, indeed. And teleporting slightly into the future, this week DC, their PR department actually sent out a sneak preview of Batman number 9,
Yes.
which starts a new storyline called I Am Suicide. And in it we see Bane, and looks like they're kind of I don't want to say reimagining, but it's sort of rebirth Bane.
Yeah,
We've seen a lot of other rebirth characters,
Bane.
so now we're seeing the new Bane, but also tying into one of my favorite, kind of obscure, he's not exactly obscure, but you know, you don't see him a lot, the Psycho Pirate as a villain, who, you know,
tell me about the Psycho Pirate.
So he tends to disappear a little bit from the DC universe, and then people think, oh, I've got a great idea for this guy, and they bring him back. He played a big role into the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes, didn't he like manipulate Barry? He does
Exactly.
something? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that was one of his big arcs. I mean, he goes all the way back to the Golden Age, interacting with the JSA. There's been 2 Psycho Pirates, and this is the second one that we're dealing with right now. He had a really amazing run once Grant Morrison got a hold of him in his Animal Man storyline.
Oh,
that was very, very cool, and tied back into everything that happened in Crisis on Infinite Earths. He was remembering when all the characters that were not that were destroyed in Crisis on Infinite Earths, Psycho Pirate was the one that was remembering that. So he started sort of bringing them back. So now we're seeing him as sort of the new villain in this I Am Suicide thing. Psycho Pirate manipulates your emotions. Currently through what they call the Medusa masks.
Oh, that's right. He like combines them all together, right?
Right. Yeah. For a while, I think in New 52, he turned the Medusa mask into like an eye patch or something, but now he's back to sort of his original look, which he can be a super sort of creepy, very interesting psychological character, and one that I feel like is underused in the DC universe.
It's going to be really interesting to see what he does and how Bruce handles him. And I also am really interested in, because it's Claire, Gotham Girl, who needs him to sort of cure her right now.
Right.
And I think that she's actually one of my favorite things about Rebirth right now. I really loved her story so far, and I really feel for her. Plus, the revelation that she and Duke Thomas get married in the future is very exciting to me. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing how things play out with her and with Psychopirate, because right now her powers are killing her.
Right.
So I don't know, guys. Do you guys like Claire? Have you been reading the Batman series? Let us know in the chat.
Yes. Now moving on to something you spoke about earlier, the Telltale Batman game.
You guys, I love Telltale so much. And even sometimes their graphics are like not as great, or there's not as much action in their games. But I really love that it's like a movie that every once in a while you make some decisions on.
Right. It's kind of like the old Choose Your Own Adventure books, but done very much in the style of comic book art.
Yeah.
You know, they did a great game for Walking Dead. They did several games for Walking Dead. They did a Game of Thrones, and now they've set their sights on Batman. They've done two
episodes, and I think
what they call episodes, which are kind of mini games.
Yeah, mini games. I have to say, and I've loved all their games pretty much, but I think that Batman so far is my favorite, just because the mystery that they're unraveling, and just the huge shift in backstory for Bruce, with Thomas, you know, being spoiler. It's gonna be spoilers, guys. It's spoilers. I don't know if you've played or not, but Thomas Wayne. Bruce is finding out that he was actually a criminal, that he was working with Falcone, that he's been, you know, working with the Penguin back when he was alive. So it's kind of like such a huge shift to Batman's worldview. And it also furthers that idea, like, oh, the villains, you know, Batman's here to stop the villains, but the villains were created by Batman in a way.
Right.
And so now it goes even further back to his father.
Yep.
So, and also, Selena Kyle is my favorite. It's one of my favorite DC characters. Okay? I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I love her. So the fact that she plays such an important role in the game, just, you know, even if it wasn't as good as it is, I would just be playing it so much because I love her so much. I love the way that they are handling her relationship with Bruce, the fact that they both know each other's identities, you know, and that you can see that they have an immediate connection and like understand each other even without knowing each other very well.
Right.
It's great.
And you know, the game is available on a variety of platforms. You can get it everywhere. They actually have a hard copy edition of the game that you can go in the store and buy. You can buy a subscription through any of the, you know, Xbox Live or PlayStation stores. They'll send you the episodes as they're available if you do the sort of season pass for it. It's also available on Android and iOS, but I hear that
there's some glitches.
There's some glitches, and there's just like missing scenes.
Right.
So a lot of people aren't happy with the port over to that technology. So
hopefully they'll get it fixed.
yeah, and I know that like PlayStation 3 is an episode behind, so I assume maybe the old Xbox is that
that's
as
why
well.
You haven't gotten to play yet.
That's right. I'm still on episode 1, so you spoiled that for me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. In other Batman game news, the Batman Arkham games, I think have been pretty well beloved by everyone. They've been such a great combination of Batman as an actual crime fighter and as a detective, which it's a great combo, and as a longtime Batman fan, is exactly what you want. You know, they've gone through 4 iterations of it already. They are releasing this last version. They're updating the graphics for the next gen and re-releasing it, and then there's a VR component to that if you have that technology available. I saw this at E3. I got to play a little bit of it. Yeah. And very, very cool. You know, because who doesn't want to run around and actually be Batman, like punching guys and throwing things? So it's very neat if you get a chance to play the actual VR version. But that means now that, what Rocksteady is saying is that is the end of their sort of run of Batman stuff, which I think that makes a lot of people sad. It makes me sad.
I know Alexis couldn't be here with us tonight, but she was bemoaning that fact because she loves the Arkham games. So. And she can't play this one because I guess you have to have the VR.
You do have to have the VR.
And you have to be able to afford that.
Right.
So that sucks for people that can't, of which I am one.
But it would be great to see, you know, I would love to see Rocksteady take on someone else from the DC universe. I'd play a Superman game, play a Flash game, I'd play a Green Lantern game.
I would definitely play a Flash game.
I would play a Justice League game. So, you know, Rocksteady, if you're out there, don't give up on the whole DCU just because you've told Batman's story.
Right. There are plenty of more stories to tell. Yeah.
So.
In happier news,
Yes.
Margot Robbie, I guess, has finally confirmed that she's producing the Harley Quinn movie.
That there is a Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah, that there's going to be a solo movie at all.
That's a big news. That's a big news.
I know people have been divided on Suicide Squad, but I think that for the most part, almost everyone agrees that she did a great job as Harley Quinn.
I think so, yeah.
What do you guys think? Did you like her Harley Quinn? I really loved it. And I know that she's not necessarily like the comic book version of Harley Quinn or the animated series version of Harley Quinn that everyone remembers.
Right.
But I think that she did a great job of sort of like melding all of the different versions together in a way.
Right, and you know, they had a nice nod to the classic Harley Quinn of her pulling the costume out. Will we see other versions of her, other, you know, costumes, other timelines for that? I mean, the world's kind of their oyster, and you know, this will be DC's first sort of solo anti-hero movie in what they've announced for their movies going forward. So that will be interesting to see. You know, how much something like a Deadpool will influence that.
That's true. And I'm also wondering, since they did cut so much of the Joker from Suicide Squad, how much of Joker will be in a Harley Quinn movie?
Right.
I mean, I would rather see Poison Ivy as a second lead to Harley.
Right.
I'd love to see that relationship and that dynamic play out. But I do think that the Joker is important to her backstory. So
Right.
it's kind of just a balance you have to strike.
So definitely getting more sort of Bat universe into the DC cinematic universe. So that's exciting news. Something else we saw.
Yes, this is important, guys. I don't know if you guys watched the debate.
There was you might have heard there was a debate tonight. But this past week, Kevin Conroy, who is the voice of Batman from many of the animated series and many of the games, and some of the direct-to-DVD, came out and endorsed Hillary Clinton in about a 10-minute video.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's significant just because it's the first time Batman has endorsed a candidate that wasn't himself, you know, since like 1966. So
if you believe in the Batman, you should vote for Hillary Clinton, according to Kevin Conroy.
According to Batman.
But you do you.
Yes. So again, just join in the conversation with hashtag welcome to the Batcave, and let us know what you've been doing this week that you might consider batty. For collectibles talk this week, you can see here I have a fine selection of some Suicide Squad figures. That's not easy to say.
Suicide Squad.
My body is rejecting my new donor mouth. So Suicide Squad figures from Funko. These are 3 3/4-inch figures. They've got 9 points of articulation.
Let me look at that over here.
These two came in the Funko DC subscription box that they have. And we thought that was going to be the only way you were going to be able to get these. But then, inexplicably this week, they announced another 7 figures in the line, including Enchantress, which is a figure no one has put out yet. So,
I thought you were going to say some figure no one asked for.
No, not that no one's asked for. No. Because this was kind of a surprise because Mattel is the master toy license for DC. So for Funko to suddenly say, oh yeah, we're putting out this whole line, that was kind of surprising. And going deeper in the line, including like Enchantress. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I would get Katana for sure.
Right.
So I might get Enchantress just, you know, to make sure I have all my ladies.
All my ladies.
I gotta have
all
my ladies.
DC ladies. Speaking of another way you can get some DC ladies.
My favorite thing to do. Going
on right now at McDonald's, they are having a promotion with their Happy Meals where they have a selection of toys for the boys. You can, I mean, really anyone can get anything, but in their mind, for the boys, you can get some toys from the new Justice League Action animated series that actually hasn't even been released yet. And then for the girls, they have a selection of toys.
I don't like this gender bias
girls,
I'm hearing in you.
Anyone can buy anything. I've bought them all. And it's not just, they have sort of figures for both of them, and they have some masks. I have picked up a few of them. Since this is a Batman show, I will show you some of the Batman toys.
Oh, okay, all right. Show me the Batman. Show me the Batman.
I'm opening it right here, live. Here we go.
Oh, speaking of,
yes.
My revelation said Catwoman first DC anti-hero movie. That's true, and I would like to see her come again.
Are they talking about the Halle Berry?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're talking about the Halle Berry one. But I would love to see Halle Berry, or not Halle Berry, sorry. I'd love to see Catwoman come back into the DC universe.
Yes.
So, in the movies. So.
All right, and then we have a Batman figure. Let me see if I can. He fell apart a little bit
God,
here,
what have you done to him?
He's got such a great little action. At first, you see this and you go, Batman's got like a giant backpack. I don't want that. But then
he's traveling Europe.
You see his actual action and you go, oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Let me see.
Show me.
Right there.
What is he doing?
So he's got these 3 batarangs on his back, and he just yo.
Oh.
Yo. Well,
he seems like you're hitting yourself. You seem like you're hitting yourself with them.
What's going on? So those are available right now. They're doing kind of a few different ones each week, so you can go to your local McDonald's and pick those up. Pro tip: you don't actually have to buy a Happy Meal to purchase them.
Oh, you can just buy them alone. You can just,
some McDonald's will let you buy them alone.
They don't
some
kind of like side eye you, like
some you have
you
to
don't
buy
want our
a cup
food.
of
What's
coffee.
wrong with you?
buy a cup of coffee and then they'll let you buy the toys. So it's out there if you want it.
All right.
So you saw something else from Funko that you liked this week.
I did. I loved the Pop Funko released Rainbow Batman exclusive for New York Comic Con. So if you guys live in New York and want to go to their Comic Con, you should definitely check it out. For me, just buy me one and send it. Just kidding. Buy it for yourself. But it's great. It's super timely because I don't know if you guys read Trinity #1 by the amazing Francis Manapul. But Batman's rainbow suit had its own rebirth in that issue. So yeah, definitely check it out at New York Comic Con.
Some people are calling this the Fruit Stripe Batman.
Fruit Stripe.
That's what I've heard it referred to as that. And if you're not going to New York Comic Con, I know Funko exclusives can be very hard to get, but in the past, like at Comic Con and in previous years, they have released them a few other places like Barnes & Noble and Toys R Us.
Oh.
I haven't heard the list breakdown of where everything's going for this con yet, but there's the possibility if you're not going to New York Comic Con, you might still have a chance.
Well, that's why I need you around, so that I know where to get this stuff.
And then from other, because the holidays are coming up, you might be thinking about what you're going to get your loved ones, just especially the Bat fans on your list.
Your loved ones who love Batman.
I stumbled this week across a Batman Christmas night sweater from Merchoid.
Oh, and it looks beautiful.
If you're into the, the sort of ugly sweater sort of thing, this is the sweater for you. Beautiful, snowy Gotham with a big bat symbol just right in the middle. So
it does look very, it looks like it's Christmas in Gotham.
It's festive.
So yeah.
It's very festive. Yes. So those are available right now for anyone that might want some of that.
Looking at the chat, I just saw Myra Verlation, who has lots of comments, talked about wanting a Manhunter Red Hood Nightwing movie.
Oh, interesting.
Which reminds me that I heard there was a petition for Shia LaBeouf to be Red Hood.
Nope.
That's my face, a hard pass. But do you guys have any feelings on that? Who do you want as Red Hood? That's my question, which you can tweet us at Welcome to the Batcave.
Yes.
Or you can tell us in the chat.
I would prefer an old shoe to appear as that as opposed to Shia LaBeouf. Nothing against Shia.
Yeah, I don't know that that wouldn't be my first choice. I was surprised by that. It didn't have that many signatures, but just for the stuff. Two-party system on Twitter, which I love this reference to Hamilton. What's Vicky's deal on Telltale? Okay, so Vicky Vale is in Telltale, and she's a reporter, obviously, trying to get some scoop on Bruce. And I don't know if she's on his. She seemed to be on his side in the first episode, but then she sort of, I guess with the news coming out about his family, she's like turning against him a bit.
Okay.
So I don't know where that's going. I hope that she helps him resolve the situation, like whatever the truth is about Thomas Wayne, that she can get it out there, but also clear Bruce's name from it, because he was like a child. Like, I don't know why people are blaming him for what his parents did.
Who would think society would overreact to something?
I don't know.
It's unheard of.
But yeah, so I don't know what her deal is either, but she was pretty cool. I just don't want her to screw Bruce over.
Nice, all right.
Yeah.
How about you saw the Screen Rant
Yes.
trailer for Dark Knight versus Batman?
Yes, I did see that. I don't know if you guys watched it. You can go to Screen Rant's page on YouTube and see it. And it was a really cool, like, 4-minute trailer where
Right.
they mashed together the Christopher Nolan trilogy with Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
So I don't know who you think would win in a fight between Christian Bale and
The
Ben
Christian Bale
Affleck.
Batman was pretty crafty.
Yeah.
But Ben Affleck will brand you and send you to prison where you get murdered.
That's
I'm just saying, that happened.
that's true. That's true. So
I
like,
didn't make that up.
so I mean, wait, okay.
But he's getting happier now.
Yeah,
It was Justice League. He's a happier Bruce
Wasn't
Wayne.
it
So
something about like the branding? I feel like I heard, like in the extended version. Like,
Okay.
didn't you see that like the branding is actually sort of like manufactured, or like criminals are getting branded that he didn't actually brand?
But we see him brand
Yeah,
them.
or is it just that they're getting killed and it didn't?
They're
have
getting
anything-
killed.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember
he's
something that
very
I was
angry.
like, I remember
Angry,
I watched
hostile Batman.
the extended version and I was like, okay, Batman's he's not that creepy. Like, it's not that bad.
In our fan art section, it's difficult to call this fan art.
Right. He's not necessarily. He is probably a fan.
He's definitely a fan.
But-
I've spoken to the man, and I know he's a fan of a great many things. Alex Ross this week released an image of Batman fighting Boba Fett. Now that is a battle for the ages,
Yes.
if I've ever heard one.
That's a pretty cool crossover.
Yes. So who
Who would win in that battle?
Who would win in that battle? They look like they're pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
Batman looks
evenly
like
matched.
Batman looks like he's kicking ass, to be honest. So I think that he might take the win.
You know, it's a couple of outsiders.
But I also love that they kind of look like angels and demons in that picture.
Right.
You know, like the coloring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Ross, he's no slouch. That kid, he's going to go somewhere. Mark my words. You write down that name, Alex Ross. You may see that again. So, all right, let's check in just one more time with the chat. Anything else we need to shout out to folks? Any other questions? Anyone they want to see Batman fight?
Well, Yarhar says that Vicky's still on his side. She's not a bad person, and I completely agree. She's
All
definitely
right.
not a bad person, but she's
Nobody said she was a bad
no,
person.
she's got.
They just asked what the deal was.
She just has some misinformation right now that hopefully she'll be able to correct because she's the link to the press right now.
Yes.
And my revelation said Jensen Ackles for Red Hood, and I've actually heard that a lot. A lot of people love that idea of him for Red Hood.
Okay.
I think he's maybe a little, he's older now, so like it wouldn't be an origin story.
Right.
But yeah, he's got the look for it at least.
All right. I'm on board with that.
Yeah. It's
I
better
see
than
that.
Shia LaBeouf.
Better than Mr. the Beef. Yes.
That's kind of a low bar, but I think he's several steps higher than that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's right. He did voice Jason. You're right, Yarhar. So yeah, he's voiced the Red Hood before.
Okay.
So you can put a face on that voice.
He's already. Yeah, that's right. He's already knows the character.
Yeah.
That's a bonus. You know, that's less research ahead of time. So I think that's it for all our Bat news for this week. That's an awful lot, but we will definitely be back next week with lots more Bat talk here in the Batcave. Go ahead and subscribe now to theStream.tv. And you'll never miss an episode. We'll be here next week. We hope you join us, and we'll continue the conversation live all week long. Just keep hashtagging Welcome to the Batcave, and we'll respond wherever you might be.
Same bat time, same bat place.
Yes, that is correct. Thanks for joining us. Have a good Bat week, everyone.
Au revoir.